Taurus, hello and welcome, or welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and we are doing August readings today. I've got the Light Seers Tarot. Wow. And I am too excited already by your cards to do my little preamble. Okay, so the preamble. These are general readings for a general Taurian audience. So that means please take what resonates for you and leave the rest for another Taurus. I invite you to check out the videos for all of your major astrological placements, like your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign. Sometimes one or the other is more resonant. Sometimes there's a little bit of something in all of them for you. Wow, okay. You know, not that you're not special, but the Chariot has come out for a lot of folks this month. So I'm suspecting it has a lot to do with, you know, once Mercury goes direct and we're out of its shadow sort of period, we're all going to feel like life is moving again. So, but you are one of the folks, one of the signs that did get the Chariot. So there's that. But let's start with your first sort of week here. The first column, we have the Lovers and the Six of Pentacles. Now, obviously the Lovers is a great omen if you're single and looking. But even if you're not single and looking, the Lovers can speak to all of our social contracts, right? It's about who we are in our relationships and how our relationships affect us, how we're affected by our social contracts. So just using the example of, you know, looking at those dating apps, even if you're not, you know, a dater, even if you're not interested in that at all, just as a for instance, you know, when you're looking at dating apps, you can see a whole variety of people, right? You can see cute ones, you can see funny ones, you can see folks who are in your geological area, in your neighborhood, that would be really convenient to date, especially if you're in a big city and not wanting to travel all the way across town, or in a rural area. And you know, sometimes just having someone that's handy, regardless of whether they're cute or smart or funny or whatever, you know, sometimes there's outdoorsy people and maybe you're not so outdoorsy, but they're handy. Or sometimes you know, you're well educated and there's only dum-dums to choose from. Or, you know, what do you do then? Then all of a sudden, the kinds of activities you're doing, all of a sudden you find yourself, oh, now I gotta go fishing all the time. Or vice versa. Now I'm going to lectures when I'd rather be on a boat or something. You know, or do I? Does that mean I have to be single forever? Or do I have to take up living on a boat? So my point is that the Lover's card speaks to the choices we make in our associations can then sometimes affect how we evolve as people. And that isn't just about our romantic relationships. It extends to our friendships too. You know, like, remember in high school, and for some of us that was a long time ago, for some of us not so much, but like, did you hang out with the burnouts? Maybe because that was the only option. Did you hang out with the evangelicals? Maybe that was the only option. Even if you weren't so much into religion or doobie, maybe you hung out with whoever you hung out with because that was the only option, and all of a sudden you're in this crowd or that crowd. Whether or not you really bought into that ethos, but that's how you're interfacing with the world now. All of a sudden you're an emo kid, even if you'd rather be, I don't know, going to church. I don't know if that's really anybody's story, but just as a for instance. Or sometimes you take a job working for, say, an oil company, even though you're against, I don't know, big oil or pharma or whatever it is. So what is a long way around to what we're saying here. Making choices in relationships can affect how we interface with the world, not just our hobbies and how we spend our time, but our politics, our where we spend our money, where we, where we're spending our labor, as far as, like for those of us who still have to work a day job or what have you, what we're putting our labor towards. Do we buy into that? Do we have a job where we're proud to go to? So there's that piece in this column. That may be up for review for you. If you're someone who's single and looking, there may be a moment, a phase, an opportunity in the first week of August for you to review. Am I going to go for the cute one or the dum-dum with the big, I don't know, whatever, insert, anatomical part here. Does that matter to me? That might be under review for you. Is it about chemistry, intellectual chemistry, physical chemistry? What do I want to align myself with, and how will that affect how I interface with the world? And do I want to believe how that changes me? Paired with that is the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of reciprocity, participating in the flow as you give and receive. Now, the good news is, especially for single folks, people who are single and looking, don't worry, I'll move on I'll expand on that. But the Six of Pentacles is about participating in something that gives as much as you give, right? So if you've been in a situation where you felt like you gave more than you received, the Six of Pentacles suggests a situation of balance, of fairness, where you get as much as you give. And that can be true in business situations. If you are looking for a job, the Lover's card can suggest the choices you make as you're applying, as you're interviewing, reviewing what options you have in the workplace, and reviewing what benefits you receive for what you give. This pair suggests that there is more on offer for you for what you have to give. Does that make sense? For those of you who may be looking to expand, like your friendship group, or maybe an artistic collaboration, there is more, it's sort of a better balance for what you have to offer. Obviously, because I'm reading for a number of Taurians, I can't say in which area exactly in your life this is going to play out. So take it as it resonates for you, Taurus. But there will be options for you to choose from, and there will be fair and balanced options where you get as much as you give. That's what we have in the first week here. In the next column, we have the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So here we have some more options in the realm of resources. This to me looks more like business, work-related, career-related options for most Taurians. The Pentacles is the suit of resources, financial planning, banking, like your literal funds or your career opportunities, networking in your career, connections career-wise. The King of Pentacles can be a boss figure, like an actual employer, supervisor, a mentor, professor, banker, CEO, someone who literally employs you, interviews you, has a connection in the business world or in your field of employment. This could be your dad with some job advice, something like that. Now, for those of you who are single and looking, and for whom the sort of romantic prospects apply, this could be a potential lover or a potential date, potential romantic interest. This would be a mature, stable fellow who knows himself and is ready to participate in a grown-up, responsible way. Would be more of an old-fashioned dater, in that, asks you out on an actual date and shows up and does kind of more romantic, old-fashioned things. Might not be the most flashy or, sexy, magnetic person, but reliable, dependable, mature, that kind of thing. And here we have our Knight of Pentacles would be a messenger. This would typically be something like an invitation to an interview, potentially for those of you on the, kind of dating path. This could be an invitation to a date, but for more folks, this would be more like an invitation to a job interview or a skills assessment, or even an audition or something along those lines. Something that you would want to follow up on. This could be an invitation to take a class or improve your skills, or maybe one of those free sort of online seminars or skills building, social media branding, kind of something to help you with your career advancement in some way, or tax tips, networking, mixer, something like that. This could be a small gig for gig workers. Like, this could actually be a part-time job or a short-term job, something like that. Take it as it resonates for you. In the third column here, we have the Ace of Swords paired with Temperance. So the Ace of Swords is sort of a portal. It's a new beginning or a new chapter in terms of ideas, philosophies, writing, social media, branding. This could be a launch of your social media or a new beginning in terms of a writing project. So for different folks, it could be, for writers, obviously, you could be starting a new book or a new writing project. It could be a launch on social media, or learning how to use social media for, depending on your skill set. Going back to school, even, especially in a writing field. It is paired with Temperance. Now, the thing about Temperance is about moderation. It is about balance. So this one is tricky. It's kind of an editing card, right? It's about keeping things tight and trim. So one thing that's so important, especially with social media now, is knowing how to keep your message tight. Keeping your like your shorts and your reels tight. It's harder for us in the older generations. I'm not a young person. So that's one of the trickiest things for me with social media, is learning how to edit my message for the shorter attention span now. And so what I see with the Ace of Swords and Temperance is learning how to use social media now in this age of the condensed sort of attention span, right? I think that's what this is getting at, especially since we have so much here. I know there are folks that may be wanting or may have a romantic sort of interest here, but there's so much Pentacles happening. There does seem to be some piece about your business or a business launch or a beginning business, that dealing with social media and sharing your message, rebranding, there may be a piece about cleaning up your message, clarifying your message, rebranding, something, and it seems to be here. This also happens to be the week when we are getting out of the Mercury retrograde shadow, when things start to move forward, when things start to, communication especially, it clears up. So having your message ready to go and clean and crisp and ready for short attention spans, that's when we see these go cards. The Chariot, as I hinted at earlier, is an absolute go card. It's a victory card with you in the driver's seat. Literally, you're taking, the reins. You're in charge of the speed. You're in charge of the direction. You're in charge of the destination. This is you going where you want to go. There's no stop signs. There's no traffic. This is you go, go, go. So all of the speed bumps are removed. This is you going with whatever it is that you want to do. And Taurus, I have to say, it does feel more like a business thing or a personal project of some kind. Now, this is paired with the strategy card. I know some other tarot readers see something else in the Seven of Swords, but I very much see this. Ooh, get this out of the glare. I very much see the Seven of Swords. This comes up for me as strategy. This is the early bird gets the worm. This is the having a leg up on the competition. It's having the better message. It's knowing the trends. It's getting the scoop. It is being smarter. It's having the better social media presence. It's that thing. So having your message ready to go when Mercury is done with its shenanigans, you are golden. It's go time. So I hope that is helpful, Taurus. That's what I've got here in this particular reading for your August. Feel free to check out your other videos. If this has been helpful, I invite you to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for stopping by. Until next time, take good care. Bye for now.